everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I want to start a series here on my channel. I think I'm going to call it March Musings or something along those lines. I haven't fully decided on a series name yet. If you got a good one, let me know in the comments. But I've been chatting about this on my Snapchat for a while too, and a lot of people wrote in saying they would like to see this idea. I was inspired by my friends like Lauren May Beauty and also Nikki Murphy here on YouTube. Lauren May Beauty does Tube Talks, and I've seen Nikki do Chat Spats, but basically it's just a way to have a conversation about topics in the beauty community and beyond sometimes. And I really enjoy watching those types of videos, and I always feel compelled to leave a really like thought out kind of comment giving my thoughts, and I like reading the other comments and seeing what other people have to say, and I just really enjoy watching those videos. And so I thought like maybe I could make my own. I used to have these topics kind of a lot when I did my live chats on a weekly basis, and so I thought maybe I could bring them back but kind of put them into a more organized type of video. So I hope that you guys like this video idea. If you do want to see it be a series, please do of course let me know in the comments. But for my first topic, I really wanted to talk about the big YouTubers versus small YouTubers, and do small YouTubers who are starting out or maybe have been doing this for a while but still have a smaller following, do we actually have a chance in the beauty community, or has it kind of been ruined by bigger YouTubers? And as I go into it, you'll see that this is not, I don't find myself to be a dramatic person at all. It's not a really dramatic video. I'm not like pointing fingers at people and saying you did this, you did that. But as a whole, you'll see when I start talking, but have the big YouTubers ruined it for smaller YouTubers or up and coming YouTubers? Do we have a chance to succeed like you see some of the bigger YouTubers do? Will we ever have the opportunities that these big YouTubers do? I thought it would be an interesting conversation. I've been thinking about this topic for a while now. I've talked about it a little bit on my Snapchat and other social media platforms as well, but I thought it could make for an intriguing video. So if you would like to see my first video in this series and have a bit of a chat with me, why don't we go ahead and get started. And I say have the bigger YouTubers ruined it for smaller YouTubers, like I said, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody in particular or like calling anybody out. It's just more of like the idea of these bigger channels that some have been around for a very long time. Some have been around 6, 7, 8 years. Some started with YouTube. Some people just started a couple years ago, but they've now surpassed the 1 million mark. And so we see the big YouTubers, ones with 1 million, 2 million, all the way up to 8 million followers in the beauty community. We see them and we see the opportunities that they have collabing with brands, coming out with their own brands, their own clothing lines, that you see the brand trips and things like that. You see the life that they live, and a lot of these people now, it looks like they're living the life of luxury. And of course there's always that, you know, you kind of have to be aware that you're seeing something through social media, you're seeing something through a lens of what people want you to see, and of course we're not always getting behind the scenes and the struggles and the hardships that they might go through, just like every other human being. But from what we see, it looks pretty damn good for those big YouTubers. And sometimes I sit here as a, you know, I'm still gonna say that I'm a smaller channel. I just hit 45,000 subscribers the other day, which for some reason was really exciting to me. For some reason that number really got me choked up and emotional for whatever reason it might be. Definitely when I think about, you know, YouTube as a whole, I feel like 45,000 subscribers still has me as a pretty small channel. And I was talking the other day on my Snapchat about topics like sponsored videos and things like that. So when I was thinking about doing this video of big YouTubers versus small YouTubers, I had a lot of different ideas that I wanted to say in this video, and I actually started taking notes because I know from doing a live chat that when I get really passionate about something or I feel very like a particular way about a situation, I can go off on like a million different tangents and talk about a million different things and get kind of scattered. So I really wanted to take notes to try to help keep me focused and make sure I'm saying the things that I want to be saying in this video. And then I realized like I have so many different things that I want to say that I thought maybe I could break it down. So first I wanted to kind of focus this video more on like sponsored videos, you know, just sponsorships that YouTubers can get. So again, if you like this idea and you'd want to see more and you'd want to see more topics that I have on this general topic, please do let me know because I can totally do another one. But one thing when I was thinking about this video, and it kind of took me back, was, and I mean, I'm flashing back years here. When I first started out YouTube, and if you don't know, I actually started YouTube as more of a book-based channel because I'm a published author, I'm a book blogger, and I thought YouTube could be a good extension of my blog. But my blog was also a women's lifestyle blog, and I talked about beauty and makeup over there, and I started to incorporate that on the channel, and then those videos started doing really well, and I decided to keep my book blog for books and then a YouTube channel for beauty, and that's kind of how I split it. So I did have a channel for a while before I turned completely into beauty, but once I did and I started getting invested in the beauty community and finding other people and watching other videos, etc., I one day thought it would be a really good idea to look myself up on Reddit. Yep, and I learned my lesson real quick, and I've never done that again. I looked myself up on Reddit, and I saw all kinds of interesting things on Reddit about me. Some good, some not so good. But one comment that really stuck out to me is someone said, I don't like watching Samantha March because she is heavily sponsored and doesn't disclose it. And I looked at that comment, and I looked at that comment, and I looked at that comment, and I thought, what are they talking about? And at that time, I had done one sponsored video on my YouTube channel, and it was with Scandinavia with their makeup sprays. And I was so excited about that video. It was my first sponsored video. It's probably something I'll always remember, but I am so pumped up in that video. I probably say it 5 times that the video was sponsored. It's in the description box. I've said it repeatedly in the video. And I'm still that way. When I do a sponsored video, I probably say at least 5 times throughout the video, it's sponsored, I'm working with, it's in partnership, thank you to this brand for sponsoring me. Because I'm so excited, because I think sponsored videos are something to be very proud of, and I do not want anyone to take that away from me. I think that is something to be very proud of. So I am so excited every time I do a sponsored video, and I say it about 1,000 times because I'm very proud of myself. So when I saw that comment about being heavily sponsored and not disclosing it, I was so confused. I was so confused. I had no idea what they were talking about, and it really bothered me. And I feel like it's a comment that I see a lot is there's always backlash with sponsored videos. I see people who comment on every single one of my videos, and then I do a sponsored video and I see comments of, I just don't watch people's sponsored videos, but I'll watch your next one. Oh, I really like your videos, but I don't watch sponsored videos, so I'm not gonna watch this one. And I'm like, why? Like, it just is something that baffles me. I try to understand because I definitely view myself as a YouTuber. I obviously am. I put a lot of work into my YouTube channel. I upload 6 to 7 days a week. But at the same time, I am a YouTube watcher. I started out watching YouTube. I watch YouTube videos all day long. I support other YouTubers. So I am a YouTube watcher at the same time. So I really do try to get both ends of the spectrum here. But it's definitely really disheartening when you see comments like that of, I'm not gonna watch your sponsored videos. I'll watch every other video and I'll support you, but I'm not gonna watch your sponsored videos. I feel like those comments are very disheartening. Like, sponsored videos just have this kind of like weird thing to them. Something that kind of bothers me because I feel like that was really the first time that I was having assumptions being made about me, and it really bothered me because for a very long time, I don't know how long I've been doing this, but for me personally, I will always have in my video description box if the video was sponsored or if the video is not sponsored. The very last line of this video, you can always scroll down to my description box and you will either see this video is not sponsored or you will see this video is sponsored by. I always have that in there. I am upfront, transparent, and again, if I'm doing a sponsored video, I'm also saying it in the video. And I think a lot of people are like that. What I'll say about sponsored videos and disclosing it, it is now the law. You have to do that. If you are being paid to make a YouTube video, you have to disclose it by law. If you are putting up an Instagram post and you're being paid for it, you have to disclose that by law. It has to say that. If you're doing a sponsored post on Twitter, anywhere, Facebook, by law, you have to disclose it. And one thing that I will say about disclosing sponsorships is that it wasn't always that way. This was not always a law. Like I said, I am also a book blogger. I've had my book blog since 2009. It was never a thing that I had to disclose that I even got sent the product. That was not a thing for years. One day I can remember getting an email from Amazon and it said, according now to the FTC, you have to disclose if you are being paid for a review or if you just got the book in exchange for a review. That is now by law required for you to disclose that. You also have to have a notice on your blog saying some of these items are sent to me in exchange for a review, and some of the links that are found in my blog are affiliate links. That has to be disclosed as well. That is also in my description box. There's a note in there that says some of these links are affiliate links, typically Amazon and Magic links. Those are my affiliate links. By law, that has to be disclosed, but that was not always the case. So I can understand these YouTubers who were starting out years and years ago, same as me, being a blogger. We didn't disclose that and we didn't say that because it wasn't necessary. It wasn't the law. It wasn't a thing. Social media has not been out forever. YouTube has not been around forever. Blogging has not been around forever. So as the internet grows and as social media grows, there are people out there trying to figure out, how do we have some sort of control over this? How do we say what needs to happen here and what needs to happen there? And it's really been, I feel like within the past couple of years that having disclosures out there are a really big thing. I feel like it was not that long ago that the Kardashians were under really hot water because they would have like Instagram posts and Snapchat posts that were ads. They were being paid to post those or to snap these things, but they were not disclosing it, and they got sent like letters and stuff saying like, you cannot do that. I feel like a couple Instagrammers came under fire for the exact same thing. And it's because it's a newer thing. It hasn't always been that way. For me, having a book and getting a book to review, it wasn't even in my mind to be like, oh, this book was sent to me by this publisher, because it wasn't a thing. That didn't exist yet. We didn't have to disclose. We didn't have to say those things. Not because we didn't want to or we were trying to be shady. It just wasn't a topic yet. This wasn't brought up yet. Even now to this day, I watch YouTube videos and I hear people say something that just, that doesn't fully make sense to me. Like sometimes I'll hear people say like, oh, I'm really excited that such and such is doing this video with me. And I'm like, doing the video, does that mean like you are sponsored, or maybe you just got sent some of the products? Like, I don't know what that means. And I go to the description box and there's nothing. It doesn't say it's not sponsored. It doesn't say it is sponsored. I'm like, not 100% sure what's going on here. Like, you know, I feel like some people try to kind of do this weird thing, or maybe they'll say it in the video, but it's not in the description box, which again is required. You have to have your FTC in your description box. So I still see that from YouTubers. And as of right now, as of where we are in 2018, that should be a thing. If you're on the internet, you're a blogger, you're a YouTuber, you're an Instagrammer, whatever it is you are, you should be fully aware of the FTC guidelines. That just is what it is. I can understand a few years ago, I can understand 2010, 2012 probably. I can understand that, but in 2018, everybody should know that. You should know to be upfront, you should know to be disclosing that. There's no excuse for it these days. There's definitely not. That's a topic that I want to bring up because I've seen it and I've been a part of it personally. Yes, it was before I was on YouTube, but it still was the same thing. It was the same topic of discussion. So hopefully that part makes sense, but I did want to throw it out there. And yes, some of these bigger YouTubers, they probably got a lot of money for doing sponsored videos before they had to be disclosing it, and maybe some of them for a while could play off the, oh, I didn't know you were supposed to disclose that. I don't know. I'm not saying people did that because I have no idea, but that definitely could have been a thing. But kind of one of these like underlying points that I'm trying to make with this video is that these bigger YouTubers now were probably taking on a lot of sponsored videos and being able to make a lot of money without disclosing it, so people didn't know it was a sponsored video, so they were just watching and continuing to support, clicking the links, buying the products, using the codes, etc., 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 without knowing that it was sponsored. And so guess who's making the money? The brand, and then also the influencer is making the money. But now you have these smaller YouTubers who are trying to make something of their channel. They're trying, like some people are trying to make this a job. They're trying to make this career. But then we get a sponsored video and we say, hey, this is a sponsored video, and we are slammed for it. We can't be making sponsored videos? We can't be making money over here? No, we can't use affiliate codes. We can't make sponsored videos. We can't get PR. We can't do any of those things. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, before disclosing was a thing, these beauty bloggers were probably making a lot of money doing these sponsorships before people were really aware of the whole sponsoring video thing. But now the smaller YouTubers are trying to do it. We're trying to make money. We're trying to be able to work with brands, make connections with brands, make relationships with brands like these other big bloggers have. But now we can't do it because we're getting called out. Even if I do a video where I just say I like a product, people are like, oh yeah, because you're sponsored by them. And it's like, no, if I am, I would say it. Sometimes, like, I feel like I do it fairly frequently on my Instagram. I'll make a video and I'll do a full face of one brand, full face of a skincare brand, something. And I'll get comments of, you really need to say that this is a sponsored post. But it's not. If it's not, I'm not gonna say it is. If it is, I will say it. I will say it in every single Instagram because it's the law. Your girl don't wanna get in trouble. Not interested in that. But just because I make a one brand video doesn't mean that it's sponsored. What I'm hoping for is that that one brand will see, hey, this girl just did a full one brand of our looks. I'm gonna go ahead and repost it. That's what I'm hoping for. That would be great. I love getting reposted on Instagram. That's the bomb. It doesn't mean it's sponsored though. Doesn't mean I'm paid for it. But we get so much flack. In my makeup monthly, I talked about a couple of random things like a deodorant and a hair mask, and every single time I had to be like, this is not sponsored. Not a sponsored video. Like we always have to, how many times do you hear in someone's video, oh, I really love this, it's not sponsored? We have to continually be saying that because we get these assumptions thrown at us a lot. This is sponsored, that's sponsored, you need to say it's sponsored. It's like, but it's not. If it was, a lot of us can say it. And again, there are YouTubers out there that I genuinely do feel still kind of hide the fact, which sucks because I feel like it ruins it for other people. But I have to believe now in this day of age and seeing people actually get in trouble for not disclosing, I have to believe that more YouTubers are gonna get it together and disclose and say when they're sponsored and things like that. So I do film off the Sony a5100, which is known to overheat. I can film for about 16 minutes straight and then it dies. So if things kind of seem a little like choppy at points, it's probably because my camera overheated, which is really frustrating. But I did want to talk about that with the sponsorships, with disclosing how it hasn't always been around, etc. But then one thing that I was talking about this on my Snapchat the other night, and I was saying that I kind of went through a tough time doing sponsored videos myself because, like I mentioned, my husband did lose his job about 3 weeks ago, and that was our main source of income and our stable, steady income. I am completely self-employed. Like I said, I'm a published author. I do freelance in the book industry, and then I'm also a YouTuber. So my income from month to month can fluctuate very greatly. So we really relied on Mitch's job for a steady income, also really fun things like health insurance, things like that. So when that happened, it obviously was very concerning, but I was getting some offers in to do sponsored videos, and I should have looked. I think I did like 4 sponsored videos in January, 4 or 5, but I did quite a few sponsored videos, more than I would normally do, because typically with sponsored videos, I will only do 1 or 2 a month, because otherwise it's, you know, people will get mad at you. People will say, you're doing too many sponsored videos, you're a sellout, you're this, you're that. Like, I see it on my channel, I see it on other people's channels. It's almost like we have to apologize every single time we make a sponsored video. I'm sorry, it's another sponsored video, but tomorrow's video won't be sponsored. You know, we have to say things like that, or we have to say, thank you so much for supporting this sponsored video, I appreciate it so much, because not everybody does, and that's sad, and I see it with almost every single sponsored video I watch, or we have to defend ourselves. I was even watching Desi Perkins the other day, who has like, what, over 2 million subscribers, and she had to give a 10-minute spiel about how much she loves NARS and honestly really does love this foundation. Like, we all just kind of feel this weird pressure to have to defend ourselves as we're making the video, and it's something that's kind of frustrating. But because I was getting more offers at the time that we just lost in income, I felt like I genuinely could not say no to doing a sponsored video. And I do want to make sure that I'm saying still with brands that I would do anyways, and still videos that I would do regardless, and I stand true to that. I mean, I have been since I started my YouTube channel, and I feel like I can say that confidently, because what people don't see is what YouTubers do turn down, what we say no to, what we negotiate. You don't get that behind the scenes that we have. So even though it might seem in January like, yeah, posted a lot of sponsored videos, I still said no. Even after Mitch had lost his job, I was still saying no to sponsored videos. If it's a brand I don't feel passionate about, products that I don't feel passionate about, a video that just doesn't make sense to my channel, something I don't feel strongly about, I'm still not gonna do it no matter how much money is being thrown at me. But what I was doing before this happened was I was trying to space them out because I didn't want to be a sellout. You know what I'm saying? And I was turning down opportunities, I was turning down brands, I was turning down videos I genuinely wanted to make and do because I was so afraid of the sponsorship backlash. And I look back on it now and I kind of like, that sucks. That sucks that I did that, because you never know when a certain brand reaches out to you and you say no to them, will they reach out to you again? Or have you just lost that opportunity? They moved on, they went to someone else. There's obviously a bajillion beauty bloggers out there. Like, did you just lose your chance because you said no because you already had a sponsored video booked that month? That's a bummer to me. So I felt that I had to come onto my Snapchat and explain, even though, you know, I've been pretty vocal about what's happened, but I was still like, this is why you're seeing, you know, a sponsored video almost every single week on my channel. At the same time, I'm like, why should I have to turn down videos and brands that I genuinely want to do, that I do feel passionate about? And I can understand not posting a sponsored video every day or every other day, but for me personally, I post 30 videos a month. That's a lot of videos. So even if I do 2, 3, 4, 5 sponsored videos, that's still not a lot of videos a month compared to my normal schedule. I can totally understand being frustrated if I were to do like 2 videos a week and one was always sponsored. I can get that vibe that might seem a little strange and maybe you're only making content for the sponsorships, but especially for me personally, and I mean, obviously I know myself, but if you look at my channel and you see how much I post, I feel like my videos and my work and my dedication speaks for itself, and that I shouldn't have to defend myself. I genuinely feel that way. And I think the same about a lot of other YouTubers, that I see them do sponsored videos, and some do more than others. But I see the other videos that they do, and I see the hard work that they put into it. And so it's not something that makes me mad. I try to look at sponsored videos as kind of like a reward, like a bonus at your job. We have to work for these sponsorships. We have to get our names out there. We have to be seen, and we have to do it all ourselves. We don't have anybody helping us do it, so we work really hard to do those. So that's why I said earlier, I'm really proud when I do a sponsored video. I'm so proud. I want to tell everybody about it. I can't even tell you guys how excited I was to work with eBates, because I love eBates. And I don't talk to my friends about a lot of my YouTube life because I know that they don't fully understand it. Like, you know, I'll say things here and there, but they don't really know like the ins and outs of it. Obviously, you probably don't unless you're in it or you watch a lot of YouTube or something. But I was telling them all about eBates, and they're like, oh, that's that website you told me to use for cashback. I'm like, yes, that's the one. Like, I was so proud of myself. But I was thinking about that when it comes to like how much is too much and when to say no and all of that. And I feel like going forward, if there's an opportunity presented to me or a video presented to me, I want to be taking it, because I feel like that's important. And not only just the money side of things, money is definitely very helpful for just to live my life and pay my bills, but you know, we also need to have good cameras. And you know, I get things all the time about you should have a background or a backdrop, or you should have shelves behind you, and I'm like, yeah, what, okay. Sure, money is great, but I also think something that's really important is building relationships, and especially with like brands and companies. I think that part is really important as well. So I want to continue to just say no to the videos that I wouldn't want on my channel, don't fit with my channel, don't fit with me, brands or products that I can't fully support. That's what I want to say no to, and I don't want to say no just because I've already done a sponsored video that month. Hopefully that makes sense. So I was thinking along those lines as well, and about when I was saying about like cameras, backdrops, etc. I've mentioned this in a past video as well about the unrealistic expectations I feel like YouTubers have, but especially smaller YouTubers, because you know, we are for some reason expected to have the best equipment and the best setup. We're expected to have like amazing quality videos. Our editing needs to be fully there. Like, we get compared to the bigger bloggers who are doing this solely full time. This is their full-time job. A lot of times you see the YouTubers' husbands working with them. They're the ones editing the videos. They're the ones filming the videos. I mean, I'm a one-woman setup. I mean, I got Aries sleeping in the chair next to me, but she's not a huge help. No one helps me film. No one helps me edit. No one helps me market it myself. I don't have a manager. I don't have a team. And a lot of these big bloggers do. A lot of them have management teams. They have people out there booking jobs for them, helping them get on these trips, helping them get these opportunities. Smaller YouTubers don't have that, but at the same time, we're expected to put out the same quality videos as other big bloggers. It doesn't make sense to me. We're expected to have the most pristine backgrounds. I film in my office. This is my office. This is my space. This is my home. And it is messy. It is lived in. It is loved. There is stuff everywhere. I don't have a beauty room. I don't have a filming studio. Hard too, because at the same time that we're expected to have all this greatness and all this setup, we're also supposed to have all of the makeup. We're supposed to be reviewing the new makeup, but we also have to buy all the new makeup. You know, a PR is a totally different subject. We could talk about that another time, but we can't accept PR. We can't get things as gifts. We have to be buying all the makeup, or otherwise we're not honest. But at the same time, we can't get paid for it. We can't do sponsored videos. We shouldn't put ads on our YouTube videos. I get told all the time I should stop putting ads on my YouTube videos, and my videos would be nicer to watch if there wasn't an ad in the middle of it. And I'm like, so how do you think I'm supposed to have all this equipment and all of the setup and all of the makeup products if I can't get paid? And you know, I hear people say, well, I only trust people who do YouTube as a hobby. I don't know what to tell you about that. Like, that's one of the more frustrating things that I feel like I have ever heard. And because I do hear a lot of people say that they do YouTube as a hobby, but they still do put ads on their videos, or they get paid, or they do a sponsored video, or they accept PR. I mean, it is what it is. I feel like it's almost impossible to do something full-time as a hobby without having some sort of something from it. Like when I was a book blogger, I started that as a hobby, but I started getting books to review because I couldn't go out and buy all of the books. I couldn't even go to the library to get all the books because the new books weren't in the library yet. So I was trying to go out to the bookstores and buy them, and I couldn't even just buy the books that were $20, $30 at a time. How am I expected to buy a $50 eyeshadow palette and review it when it comes out? If you can't, it's impossible to. So when I see comments like that, it is really frustrating. But so with all that being said, I'm genuinely curious, and sometimes I sit and wonder, do the smaller channels, the smaller YouTubers, the ones who have just started, the ones who have started for a while but we haven't made those big numbers yet, the ones who have yet to start, do we actually have a chance in the beauty community to make it as a big YouTuber? Can we turn this into a career? Can we have some of the opportunities that the big YouTubers are presented with? Will we ever get that chance, or has it almost kind of been ruined by bigger YouTubers? And again, not saying it's on purpose or there's anyone in particular that I'm pointing out. I'm just saying with how the beauty community has kind of changed since it began to where we are now, do smaller YouTubers have a chance, or will we constantly have to be defending ourselves, whether it comes to sponsorships or it comes to PR or anything like that? Will we have to feel like we can't take certain opportunities because we're afraid of the backlash? These are things that bigger YouTubers probably didn't have to deal with, or maybe didn't have to deal with as much as we do now. They probably weren't under the same amount of scrutiny when they were starting out, and when they were getting handed these opportunities, they were able to more freely say yes. So now, not only have they been making the money, they've been able to go on to create their own brands or create their own lines. If YouTube were to end tomorrow, a lot of these bigger YouTubers probably have a comfortable enough bank account to say that that's okay, or they have other opportunities. They have their own lines, they have their own brands, they have, you know, certain knowledge or experience in certain areas. Like I heard Desi Perkins say, I would like to have a production company if I wasn't in YouTube, and she's been able to learn a lot of that through her YouTube channel. So a lot of those people would be totally fine. So these beauty bloggers are very well established, but then I also think about the changes to the YouTube partner program. I know that's been a really hot topic of discussion lately, and you know, obviously who's that affecting? It's affecting the smaller creators. When things happen and YouTube starts pushing out popular videos or trending videos or things like that, whose videos are they sharing? The bigger YouTubers. Even Snapchat did their freaking update the day that I'm filming this. And it's horrible, but instead of being able to look at the people who I decided to follow on Snapchat, they're showing me popular stories from like celebrities. I don't care. I chose who to follow on Snapchat because I want to watch them, not who you are deeming as popular. So when I think about all of this, it constantly kind of feels like the smaller guys are just being pushed to the wayside. So sometimes I truly do worry, like, is it too late? I started too late? Do I have a chance to be successful? Do I have a chance to be able to have some of these opportunities like the big bloggers do? Or has that time already passed and the big are just going to keep getting bigger and the small are just going to keep getting pushed down? Algorithms is going to keep finding ways to making our voices even smaller. And then if we constantly feel like we have to defend ourselves and turn down opportunities, how can we actually be expected to grow and have some of these amazing opportunities, life-changing opportunities that some of these other bigger bloggers are doing? Do we have a chance? Sometimes I really don't know. To be honest, sometimes I really don't know, and I really do wonder and worry about it. I'm just curious, and I would like to know your feedback, and I wanted to give the reasons why I kind of thought, you know, do the smaller YouTubers have a chance? Because these are things that run through my own head. There's times where I film, edit, and upload almost every single day. Sometimes I'll take a Saturday off from uploading a video. Sometimes I try to take at least one day off of filming a video just to have like a reset button. But I know how hard I work. I know how many hours I put into it, and I know how much money I make from it, to how many hours and how much time and how much money I put into my own channel, and it's still uneven. It is still putting more into it than what I am making. And then I see how much I have to defend myself over assumptions and false allegations, because YouTubers used to do this. This used to be not a thing, that now we get the blame for it and we have to defend ourselves. I have to say no to opportunities and sponsored videos just because I'm afraid of the backlash of putting out too many videos. So will I have those chances? Will I have those opportunities? I really want to know, and I would like to get your thoughts down below of anything that I mentioned, or if you feel strongly about anything that I mentioned in this video. I would like to know. And one thing I know I always hear Lauren say it in her videos as well, is that she just wants to have a good conversation. I really don't want to see a lot of like fighting in the comments and things like that. I want to have a genuine conversation with people about these things and not make it overly dramatic or mean in the comments or attacking other people, you know, things like that. But it's something that I think about a lot, and something that I would like to know, and I would like to know your feedback. And maybe I said something today that clicked with you, and maybe you thought, you know what, I never thought about it that way. Curious whether you have a channel or you don't and you just like watching YouTube. I would love to know your thoughts down below. And like I said, if you guys would want to see this on a series, or if you'd want to see the same topic, like I said, I have a couple of other items that I'd like to talk about, maybe like PR, brand trips, things like that. I have opinions and topics that I think that I could bring up on both of those items as well. So if you want to see more of these videos, please do let me know, and I would love to make some more because I enjoy having these conversations. I like to have conversations. I'm someone who still does read and respond to almost every single comment of mine, and I enjoy doing that, and I like hearing from other people as well. And you know, these videos that I've seen Lauren and Nikki do, and other YouTubers have done them as well, but they always leave me thinking, and a lot of times they shed light on something that maybe I didn't know, or I learned something from their videos. So I really appreciate those kind of videos. And like I said, I'll have Lauren and Nikki's channels linked down below. I enjoy both of these ladies very much and would highly recommend them, especially if you do like videos like these. But that's gonna do it for today's video, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and leave me some comments down below. Let's have some nice discussions in the comment section. But if you guys did enjoy this one, I hope that you will give it a thumbs up. I hope that you will also consider subscribing before you go, and I will catch you guys in tomorrow's video.